What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. In the last episode, we recovered the rest of Link's missing memories and learned how he fell in battle. Now, with that memory fresh in our minds, the only thing I can think of is revenge. So today, we're finally going to start our assault on Calamity Ganon and Hyrule Castle. We're now ready to show him that just because he won the battle 100 years ago doesn't mean he's won the war. It may have taken us a while, but we've been training. With all 120 shrines completed, all divine beasts back into control of the other 4 champions, with the fully upgraded Champion's Tunic and Hylian armor set, the Hylian shield, and of course the Master Sword on our back, we are ready. This battle won't be a repeat of what happened 100 years ago. This time, only one of us is coming out alive, so let's do this thing. Now, of course, we still need to break into Hyrule Castle first, and sure, I could just teleport to the shrine at the docks, but we've done that before, and to be honest, I'm not here to play games with Calamity Ganon. No more sneaking around. We're going full disrespect mode. We're gonna brute force our way through the front doors, showing Calamity Ganon that we don't care about his defenses. These guardians, they mean nothing to us. They're just as weak as any other Bokoblin we've slain on our quest to save Zelda. They don't scare us at all anymore. And can you guys tell that I'm pretty excited to finally be going to Hyrule Castle? Like, it might just be my favorite area in the game. It's really cool how it's laid out. And I've said this in previous Zelda LPs. I love it when they let you explore Hyrule Castle. So the fact that Breath of the Wild lets you pretty much explore everything inside the castle is just amazing to me. And I've put a lot of thought into how I want to showcase Hyrule Castle to you guys, since I guess you could consider it to be the final temple or final dungeon of the game, although there really aren't any puzzles or terminals we need to activate, so don't worry too much about that. Hyrule Castle is mainly about getting to Calamity Ganon, and well, there are a ton of different ways that you can do that, some of which I will talk about once we get inside, but my main goal is to show off all the important bits. There might be a few areas here and there that we don't get to see in this video, but we probably will see them in one way or another in different videos coming out later on. So don't worry too much about those just yet. And I'm not going to skip over like anything important. It's just going to be like minor rooms here and there that I probably won't go into. Let's not forget too, we've already seen a bunch of Hyrule Castle from the other times that we've gone inside to do stuff, like when we got the Hylian shield or when I completed that shrine that's back there. There was also the time that we got the Dark Master Sword, aka the Royal Guard Sword. So we've seen bits and pieces here and there. Now it's time for us to get like the full picture. And you know, I probably should have waited to use my Master Sword. Like, I know it's at full power now, but I believe if you use it inside Hyrule Castle, and inside Hyrule Castle only, it does have, like, bonus durability. I think that's the case, so might have been smarter to wait on that, but not a huge deal. Like, even if the Master Sword does lose its power, which it might do, it should restore itself before the final boss, so yeah, not too worried about that. I mean, we can still use other weapons, but that would just seem so wrong. Like, you have to use the Master Sword against Calamity Ganon. Even if your other weapons do more damage, you have to do it because it's iconic. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so let's chill out here for a second. That drone up there is like the last line of defense. The entrance to Hyrule Castle is directly in front of us. And I know I just talked up a big game by saying Guardians are essentially useless, and they kind of are. Although the only exception would be the Drone Guardians, since realistically, the best way to kill them is by using Ancient Arrows, which I have like 5 of because I never bought any more of them. Maybe I should have, but probably won't be that big of a deal. I very rarely use Ancient Arrows because, generally speaking, the Drone Guardians are pretty easy to avoid, and whenever I'm fighting like another type of Guardian, I just prefer to use my sword. Now that being said, directly in front of us is a bunch of Malice blocking our path. There are several different ways we can get around that. For instance, we could use our Zora's Tunic and swim up that waterfall, but instead, we're gonna duck into this hallway off to the right and basically go through Hyrule Castle the intended way for now. What I do love about this area, though, is just how open it is. So you can pretty much go through Hyrule Castle however you want to. Your main objective is to make your way to Calamity Ganon, which is the giant orange dot at the top of Hyrule Castle. So as long as you get there, that's all you have to do. Like, by any means necessary can you get there. So if you want to use your Zora's Tunic and your champion abilities like Revali's Gale, you totally can. There is nothing stopping you. And I'm not joking when I say this. Like, from the entrance to Hyrule Castle, if you use your Zora's Tunic and your champion abilities, you can make your way to the Calamity in under 2 minutes. Like, it does not take long to get there at all if you skip everything. But why would you want to skip everything, man? Hyrule Castle is so cool. There's so much to see in here. Plus, it's a great place for finding weaponry, like really good weaponry too. I'm not even joking. If I ever like get low on weapons, this is immediately where I come to, just because you can find so many, I guess, high level weapons like super easily that why wouldn't you come here? I'm talking like royal weapon sets, royal guard weapon sets, stuff like that. So this is definitely the place to be, and I like how I just used all 3 charges of Daruk's protection on freaking Super Soaker Blasts from these Lizalfos. So yeah, that was really the best place to use that. Not really too worried though. Like, Daruk's protection will definitely recharge way before we make our way to Calamity Ganon. And there is so much to see that it's gonna take us quite a while. Even if it doesn't, like, I probably will take a break, right before we reach Calamity Ganon. So if any of my champion abilities are on cooldown, I'll just, like, you know, wait out the cooldown and then go and take on Calamity Ganon. Why wouldn't I? Like, there's no reason not to. Unless, of course, you wanted to intentionally make the game harder, but then you could just turn the champion abilities off. Alright. Anyways, let's take this guy out. He does have a Royal Guards Claymore, which is a pretty decent weapon, not gonna lie. Also, I realized that I don't use stasis when I'm fighting, like, larger enemies as much as I should, because it's definitely an underrated ability for what it does. So I'm going to try and use it a little bit more as we go through Hyrule Castle. Anyways, I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's a Royal Claymore over here, which I cannot carry because my inventory is already full, so we'll just leave that there, I guess. And now we're about ready to leave this area, but back where we came, there was a dead end, so it seems like we're stuck, but really, we're not, because right over here, there is a switch that we can press down. We'll use stasis to keep it pressed down. That way we can exit up here, and pretty much this takes us back outside on the other side of that malice that was blocking our path. So if we just grab ourselves a bow real quick, shoot this eyeball, we can dispel the malice, and if we were to walk back down that pathway, it would take us back to the entrance of Hyrule Castle. So already making pretty good progress. Let's just run away. That way that turret does not see us. And probably would be wise to take that guy out. So let's hop up here real quick, and we'll get rid of him, just because him sort of attacking us as we're trying to run to the next, I guess, checkpoint or gate here in Hyrule Castle would not be a good thing. There's already a couple other turret guardians on the way, so let's not make this too hard for ourselves. And ooh, that was very, very close. I wasn't sure I was gonna make that shot or not, but thank goodness I got it off in time. Okay, wow, that guy's already taking aim for me. Well, joke's on him, because that structure directly in front of us is exactly where I'm going. Now, be careful. Before you cross that gate, make sure you take aim at this eye. Shoot it the second it opens up, because, yeah, a Lionel drops down from the sky. And if you don't shoot that eyeball, it will spawn like other enemies, which makes fighting this Lionel a little harder than it should be. And Lionels are already difficult. You guys have wanted me to fight a Lionel for a very long time, and I'm more than happy to oblige. But yeah, they're not exactly easy to fight, and I'm not exactly good at fighting them, so forgive me if this doesn't exactly go as well as maybe other battles wouldn't. Ooh, yeah, Flurry Rush, nice. I'm actually pretty bad at getting those off on Lynels. Like, the timing is not easy, although, hey, 2 in a row, nice, not bad. But, yeah, this is the easier Lynel to fight. There's a harder one that we'll encounter later on in Hyrule Castle, and I believe he's a lot faster. So, although that fight did not go that bad, that wasn't even the hardest one. Okay, so we're essentially through the first checkpoint. Now again, there's a bunch of Malice blocking our path, and of course we could swim up that waterfall, but we're not going to do that. Instead, let's head in this direction, and this actually might look a little familiar to you guys because I believe this is the exact same path we took when we were getting the memory here in Hyrule Castle. So, yeah, we're actually going to make our way back to Zelda's study and Zelda's room because if you guys remember correctly, when we were there to grab the memory, I did mention the fact that there was one thing in each of those rooms that we did not do. So, of course, we're going to go take care of those real quick. Then we will continue our tour of Hyrule Castle. Thankfully, Zelda's study and Zelda's room are pretty much on the way to all the other areas of the castle that I want to visit. So, it's not like we're losing time or missing out on anything else by going here. Just think of it as part of the tour, even though we've technically already seen this part when we came over here to like grab the memory, but no big deal. There is one turret guardian blocking our path, and well, you know what, since we haven't actually done this before, what do you say we use one of our ancient arrows on this guy? Because no matter what, as long as you hit one of these guardians in the eye with an ancient arrow, it will kill it instantly, no matter the HP that it has, which makes them very powerful. There are a few chests here in Hyrule Castle that we can find that do contain more ancient arrows, but yeah, I probably won't be using them too much anyways, so not a huge deal. That being said, we've made it to Princess Zelda's room. It's kind of funny how, like, you can see the HP of these guys around corners as long as you're wearing your champion's tunic. But, yeah, let's get rid of this silver moblin, then we can do what we came here to do. And, oh man, the Master Sword is running low, and, well, there it goes, I guess. That kinda stinks. Oh well, we have plenty of other weapons that we can use in the meantime while it's recharging. I believe that guy was actually using a Edge of Duality. I'll grab that in a second. First things first though, what I came here for is this. Check it out. We can read Zelda's diary. So let's start by page 1. After meeting with the champions, I left to research the ancient technology, but nothing of note came of my research. The return of Ganon looms, a dark force taunting us from afar. I must learn all I can about the relics so we can stop him. If the fortune teller's prophecy is to be believed, there isn't much time left. But turning over these thoughts in my head puts me ill at ease. I suppose I should turn in for the night. P.S. Tomorrow my father is assigning him as my appointed knight. I set out for Goron City today to make some adjustments to Divine Beast Vah Rudania. I still recall feeling his eyes on me as I walked ahead. The feeling stayed with me so long I grew anxious and weary. It is the same feeling I've felt before in his company, and still, not a word passes his lips. I never know what he's thinking, and makes my imagination run wild, guessing at what he is thinking, but will not say. What does the boy chosen by the sword that seals the darkness think of me? Will I ever truly know? Then I suppose it's simple. A daughter of Hyrule's royal family, yet unable to use sealing magic. He must despise me. I said something awful to him today. My research was going nowhere, I was feeling depressed, and I had told him repeatedly not to accompany me. But he did anyways, as he always does, and so I yelled at him without restraint. He seemed confused by my anger. I feel terribly guilty, and that guilt only makes me more agitated than I was before. I am unsure how to put today's events into words. Words so often evade me lately, and now more than ever. He saved me. Without a thought for his own life, he protected me from the ruthless blades of the Yiga clan. though I've been cold to him all this time, taking my selfish and childish anger out on him at every turn. Still, he was there for me. I will never forget that. Tomorrow I shall apologize for all that has transpired between us. And then I will try talking to him. To Link. It's worth a shot. Bit by bit, I've gotten Link to open up to me. It turns out he's quite a glutton. He can't resist a delicious meal. When I finally got around to asking why he's so quiet all the time, I could tell it was difficult for him to say, but he did. With so much at stake and so many eyes upon him, he feels it necessary to stay strong and to silently bear any burden. A feeling I know all too well. For him, it has caused him to stop outwardly expressing his thoughts and feelings. I always believed him to be simply a gifted person who had never faced a day of hardship. How wrong I was. Everyone has struggles that go unseen by the world. I was so absorbed with my own problems, I failed to see his. I wish to talk with him more and to see what lies beneath those calm waters, to hear him speak freely and openly. And perhaps I too will be able to bare my soul to him and share the demons that have plagued me all these years. Father scolded me again today. He told me I'm to have nothing more to do with researching ancient technology. He insisted that I focus instead on training that will help me awaken my sealing magic. I was so frustrated and ashamed, I could not even speak. I've been training since I was a child, and yet... Mother passed a year before my training was to begin. In losing her, I lost not just a mother, but a teacher. Mother used to smile and tell me, "Zelda, my love, all will be well in the end. You can do anything." But she was wrong. No matter how I try or how much time passes, the sealing power that is my birthright evades me. Tomorrow I journey with Link to the Spring of Power to train, but this too will end in failure. Such is my curse. I had a dream last night. In a place consumed by darkness, a lone woman gazed at me, hallowed by blinding light. I sensed she was not of this world. I don't know if she was a fairy or a goddess, but she was beautiful. Her lips spoke urgently, but her voice did not reach me. Would I have heard her if my power was awoken? Or was my dream simply a manifestation of my fears? I am sure I will know the answer soon, whether I wish to or not. I turned 17 today. This means that this is the day I will finally be allowed to train at the Spring of Wisdom. When Link arrives, we will set out for Mount Lanayru. The other champions will accompany us there. I have not seen my father since he last scolded me. Things are too strained now. I will meet with him when I return. Actually, I've had a horrible feeling ever since that weird dream. No one would believe a failure of a princess, but... right now, for no particular reason, I am filled with a strange and terrible certainty that something awful is about to happen. And that is her last entry, so it's really cool to see sort of more of Zelda's thoughts that she was having as things were sort of taking place 100 years ago, and that perfectly coincides with all of the memories that we've seen and stuff like that. So it's really, really cool to get that extra insight. But we're not done just yet. There's actually more insight that we can get to the history of 100 years ago. So we make our way to Zelda's study. There is another notebook that we can read and learn even more about our beloved princess. So let's check out Zelda's research journal, starting from page 1. Today I met with Impa of the Sheikah tribe and began my research into ancient technology in earnest. Impa introduced me to Purah and Robbie, other respected members of her tribe. Tomorrow I embark on an excavation with them. We hope to find ancient technology with which to operate the guidance stones. Today we uncovered some ancient technology that we believe may have the power to control the guidance stone. It is a rectangular object small enough to be held in my 2 hands. Sheikah text is featured prominently on it. It is made of an unknown material, but we believe it is the same as the shrines scattered across each region. Impa proposed that I hold on to it for now. I hope that it leads to some new developments in our research. The stone relic we discovered has been named. We are calling it the Sheikah Slate. We have not found any mention of a name for this object in the records we have unearthed so far. Nevertheless, Purah insisted we call it the Sheikah Slate, as the relic is a slate made by the Sheikah tribe. Feels a bit on the nose to me, but it was not a fight I thought I could win. We did it! We were finally able to restore some functionality to the Sheikah Slate. We have discovered that this stone slate is capable of producing images, perfect likenesses of the things you pointed at. Unlike normal pictures drawn by hand, this requires no artist to capture anything in perfect detail. I deeply admire the accomplishments of Sheikah technology. Still, I know there is more to learn. There must be. We believe the Sheikah Slate may have a function that allows it to control the Guidance Stone. We must continue our research, and quickly. We have started training the champions who will pilot the Divine Beasts. It may sound rude that I found this unexpected, but Mipha mastered the controls with surprising ease. Daruk struggled at first, but eventually got the hang of it. Urbosa and Revali both managed just fine as well. I can finally see the light of hope in our fight against the rising calamity. Robbie has restored mobility to many of the Guardians we've excavated. But we still have yet to find all of the Guardians. Records mention a greater number of them, and even other types. They are said to be stored in 5 giant columns that rest beneath Hyrule Castle. The thing is, no matter how I search beneath the castle, I can't seem to locate these columns. They must be buried deep. Were they perhaps designed to sense the appearance of Calamity Ganon and to only activate upon his return? Countless ancient structures are being discovered across Hyrule, but all attempts to enter them have failed. Records indicate that these are facilities designed to train the hero who is fated to combat the Calamity. But the crucial activation mechanism remains a mystery. Is the Sheikah Slate the key to activating them? That is Purah's theory, and I concur, and yet my experiments so far have been fruitless. Still, we must exhaustively investigate all means of opposing the Calamity. We must not give up, no matter what. I spoke with Purah about the Shrine of Resurrection we discovered earlier. As we speculated, this particular shrine is in fact a medical facility with the power to heal. It also has a long-term stasis function that can be activated and maintained until healing is complete. In the war against the Calamity 10,000 years ago, were the injuries so great as to necessitate such a facility? If so, I will remain uneasy until we have made all the adjustments necessary to restore to full working order. I can only pray that even if Calamity Ganon returns, our battle will not require the Shrine of Resurrection's power. And that is the last entry, so we kind of know how that turned out. Yeah. They did kind of require the Shrine of Resurrection's power, didn't they? But, it's cool to see, like, what Zelda... Whoa. What? Oh, okay. That was odd. The Guardians sort of disappeared for a second, but, yeah, it's sort of cool to see, like, what else Zelda was up to. It's sort of unclear to me if that was happening at the same time that Link was following her around, because as far as I can tell, like, the only events that sort of coincide is the area where Zelda was experimenting with opening the shrines. So that could be directly tied to the memory where we see her trying to open a shrine with the Sheikah Slate, and then she gets pissed off at Link. Like, so maybe they are happening at the same time, maybe they're happening slightly before. It's kinda hard to say. I think it maybe does happen slightly before, and then while that's happening, she has all the memories and stuff with Link, which I've sort of been calling them Link's missing memories, which isn't really accurate. They're kind of like Zelda's memories, since, you know, you sort of see them from, I guess, Zelda's perspective sometimes. Like, when Link falls in battle, for instance, you're obviously seeing that from Zelda's perspective. And then, of course, that entire scene with the Deku Tree, again, that has to be from Zelda's perspective. But whatever, that's like semantics. Down here, there's actually another secret that we can find. It's another notebook that we can read. But right through here is the King's Study. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Real quick, let's open up this chest and get ourselves a golden rupee. But then, we're going to go and read the writings of Roem Bosphoramus Hyrule. Let's start on page 1. Today, as the sun rose and a new day was born, my daughter too joined this sweet world. In keeping with the traditions of the royal family, I have decided to name her Zelda. I am not a man accustomed to frivolous musings, but now it seems as good a time as any to begin my royal memorandum. Reports keep arriving regarding the excavation of relics. The fortune teller's prediction seems to be coming true. Calamity Ganon was not a figure of fable or even of legend. He actually existed in our great land of Hyrule. We must investigate all the relics, learn as much as we can, but understanding the divine beasts alone will take time. Zelda's eyes lit up like a wildfire when I told her about the relics. I must admit, she has a knack for research. My queen has left this world. Her death was so sudden and unexpected. I awaken most nights unsure if she is really gone. Zelda never cried, never faltered, not even during the royal funeral, or later when she and I were alone with our grief. I must assume her strength is a result of us repeatedly informing her of her duty to be a valiant and steady princess. For a child of merely 6 years of age, her conduct was truly that of a born leader. Her strength gives me hope. From now on I must raise her all alone. Now only I remain to prepare her for her difficult future as a princess of Hyrule. Zelda finally reported back after her visit to the fountain. It seems her sacred sealing power has still yet to awaken. It has been a year and 3 months since her mother passed. Perhaps she is held back by heartache too deep to heal. If the Ganon prophecy wasn't looming over our heads, I would tell her to take her time, to wait until she is ready. But our situation is dire and leaves no room for weakness, even on behalf of my beloved daughter. My heart breaks for Zelda, but I must act as a king, not a father. I must order her to train relentlessly at the fountain. I was told Zelda went off to research ancient technology, so I had no choice but to confront her about it. She claims she was simply using her day off from training to indulge in a bit of research, but still I scolded her. She won't get it through her head, forcing me to tell her the same thing I have been repeating ad nauseum. The reason her sacred powers still won't awaken is because she's spending all her efforts playing at being a scholar. In truth, I understand Zelda's feelings, painfully so. She lost her mother, her teacher, before she could learn from her. 10 pointless years of self-training without so much as a book or a note to help her find her way. Those in the castle talk behind her back, and I, her only family, scold her for her shortcomings. No wonder she wishes to hide away in her beloved relic research. I'd love nothing more than to console her. But I must stay strong. She must fulfill her duty, just as we all must, even if she comes to despise me. I've been told my Zelda went to the Spring of Wisdom. This will likely be her last chance. If she is unable to awaken her power at Lanayru, all hope is truly lost. If she comes back without success, then I shall speak kindly with her. Scolding is pointless now. I have forced 10 years of training on her, and after all that it seems her power will stubbornly awaken some other way. Perhaps I should encourage her to keep researching her beloved relics. They may just lead her to answers I can't provide. For now I sit anxiously, more a father than a king in this moment. I sit and await my daughter's return. And that was his final entry. And well, we know that Zelda never really returned because pretty much the second she got off Mount Lanayru, Calamity Ganon attacked. And it's kind of sad too because you read the diary and you know the king's like inner thoughts. You know that it really did kill him on the inside to treat Zelda that way. And like, he seemed like a giant jerk to her, and he kind of was. And I mean, towards the end, he basically came to his senses and realized that, you know, maybe that's not the best idea, but sadly, the attack happened before he could really patch things up with his daughter, which is even more tragic if you really think about it. Like, oh man, it kills me to think about that, it really does, but, I guess you can't change what happened in the past, all we can really do is move forward. And that's like something cool about this game, is that there's a lot of story in Breath of the Wild through, you know, the memories and the cutscenes and stuff like that, but you can find little tidbits like that that really expand the story even more. By the way, back there, that leads you to the docks, so if you came from the shrine, you can head up the staircase, move that out of the way, and then you will end up here in the library. So that's pretty much how you would go about getting here if you wanted to use the shrine to get in the castle instead of like going through the front door. Anyways, though, we're going to move on through here, and you might sort of recognize the path that we're taking if you watched the video I did about getting the Dark series set, or the Dark Link tunic, and also the Dark Master Sword. The Royal Family's secret recipe number 2, the Chancellor's favorite monster cake. Stew monster extract, Tamantha wheat, cane sugar, and goat butter for a spell. It's a dangerous dish that makes your head fuzzy and may even motivate you to plan evil schemes. Alright, well, that was interesting. But yeah, you can also find stuff like that, I guess, around Hyrule Castle if you're looking for it. I'm pretty sure, because that was number 2, number 1 is on the other side, but I'm not going to bother going to read it because it really doesn't matter. Although, if I'm being totally honest, I've never actually tried to cook any of those recipes, so maybe they do something really cool. Let me know if one of you guys have actually cooked it, because I'd be interested to know exactly what it does. But yeah, this pathway, like I said, is going to seem very familiar if you watch the Dark Link video that I did, considering we're basically going to be following the exact same path for just a little bit. But that's not the worst thing in the world, since at the end of this hallway, there is another really good area that you can use to stock up on weapons. Like, really, the only thing guarding the weapon tree is this one moblin. But, yeah, there's lots of stuff in here that you can use. And I actually might take a second or two to, like, stock up on some weapons, because I'm pretty sure I broke a few of them as I was going through here, so I probably do have like some empty inventory spots. And whoa, game, calm down. Still don't know why it does that. It's really bizarre. But yeah, so we can grab like 3 weapons. I'll take this, and I'll take this. I guess I can grab the spear as well. Yeah, why not? Okay. You know what, let me grab the shield. There's the Royal Guard shield. I guess that's the Dark shield as well, so you can use that with, like, your Dark Link set, and then you'll have, like, a fully, Dark-like set Link, if you will. It'd look really cool. Alright, that being said, we're pretty much done in this room. Like, there's nothing else that I really want to loot or do in here, so let's just keep going. There are a couple of bombable walls through here that you can blow up, but, it's not really worth your time, so don't even bother. Down there is actually where you got the, Royal Guard's sword. Anyways, though, yeah, over here, there's a couple of areas that we have yet to explore. We're gonna start by going down this hallway, though. This does kind of lead to a dead end, but it's still a new area, so I definitely want to show it off. We're gonna start, though, by killing this Malisai and, this Moblin over here. Ooh, you know what? I probably should have, like, stunned this guy first. Ooh, okay, that was kind of painful. What did that do? Like a heart and a quarter, though? Jeez, that was nothing at all. Holy crap. I mean, we do have the fully upgraded Champion's Tunic, Hylian Trousers, and Hood, so I guess it makes sense that we're not taking a whole lot of damage, but I remember way back when we first started this game, like, an attack from one of these guys, even just a kick, would have done like 6 to 8 hearts, which is ridiculous, whereas now they barely do anything to us. It's kind of cool because you get a real sense of character progression. Anyways, here we are in the observatory room now. Again, another Malice eyeball. Let's get rid of this guy real quick. And what's cool is once we get rid of him, we can actually go out like on the balcony and get ourselves a royal bow. I'll take that. And whatever's inside this chest, which is some ancient arrows. And yeah, there are Korok seeds to be found here in Hyrule Castle as well. So this is not the only time we will be here. Don't worry. We'll be back for a dedicated Korok seed collecting video. In fact, some of the Korok seeds are in like places where you wouldn't even normally need to go in Hyrule Castle. Like those are those areas that aren't important that I was talking about before. We're not going to them now because there's absolutely nothing cool in there and no reason to even go to those sections of Hyrule Castle unless you're looking for the Korok seeds. So yeah, we're not going to see those areas until a little while later. This is the dining hall. Now, what's really odd about the dining hall is there's still food out on the tables. Yeah, kind of gross considering, you know, it's probably been sitting there for who knows how long, over 100 years maybe. But hey, food is food, so what do you say we pick everything up? Of course, we can use this for ingredients or just like eat it raw. I believe there is at least one cooking pot here in Hyrule Castle. I remember we did pass one, so you could go back there and like cook up some extra meals. But I'm pretty sure I have enough food to last me until the very end of the game. Like I probably won't even need to heal during the final fight. At least I don't plan to, so as long as I don't screw up royally, we should be fine. And aw, man, I was really hoping that arrow would hit. I actually love using shock arrows to, you know, stun moblins and take away their weapons, because then they become basically useless for a little bit as they scurry around and try to find some other weapon. Not really too upset that I can't carry that, so I guess I'll leave it there. But, yeah, I guess that's like everything inside the dining hall. And now that we're done here, well, if we head up in this direction, we're basically gonna loop back to directly after we fought the first Lionel. Like, remember that giant thing of Malice that was blocking our path? Well, now we're sort of on the other side of that. So, of course, let's get rid of the eye, and that should clear up the path. Now we can, like, go back down to the first gate if we want to, but there's really no reason to go back down there. So, let's make our way towards the second gate. Now, again, just like with the first gate, be very careful and try and aim upwards, because there's two eyeballs up there that we need to hit this time. So as soon as we walk in, a silver Lionel will spawn, so make sure you hit those eyes quickly and get the heck out of the way, because that guy will waste no time charging at your face. I'm actually really bad at fighting silver Lionels, and oh geez. Hey, the Master Sword is back. I guess that's a good thing. And now I'm about to burn through like all of my charges of Daruk's protection, aren't I? I mean, we're gonna have to survive this fight efficiently. Let me actually use a Royal Guard's Claymore. Probably not a good idea, honestly. Probably should use like a single-hand weapon, just because dual-handed weapons are very slow, and this is one fight where using a slow weapon is not a good thing. Normally, I love two-handed weapons, but in Lionel fights, you kind of need something quick, since you're going to be dodging in and out of their attacks, and yeah, this really is not working out for me. Holy crap, dude, can you give me like 2 seconds to like think? Holy crap, let me grab the Master Sword, and you know what? Now, we're just going to go in on this guy, you know? Balls to the wall, let's do this thing. I am sick and tired of you just charging at me, doing your dumb attacks. We're going to get that Flurry Rush, go in, do a bunch of damage, and you're not going to do anything about it. Hopefully I can land like a couple more of those. Let me heal too, just in case, because I did not expect to take that much damage from this guy. Holy crap. You know what? Yeah, let's go for the attack up as well. That'll definitely help during this battle. Like 3 attack up, that's really stinking good. Hopefully we can make quick work of this guy now. Come on, just slash at the back of him. Silver Lionels are no joke. Like, Do not mess with them. And yes, thank goodness for the Flurry Rush. Or at least I'm just really bad at fighting them. I'm sure there are people out there who are really good. And oh my gosh, another freaking Flurry Rush? Dude, I swear I never get these like when I'm fighting them normally. So I'm happy about that. Like, I am not complaining, but that is unusual for me. Alright, so there we go. I'll take all of that stuff. Thank you very much. And, yes, there it is. I knew a chest spawned, like, after you killed this guy. I'm pretty sure inside the chest we're gonna get more ancient arrows. So, hooray! We can use those for something, I suppose. They might be helpful in the final battle. Maybe. I'm not actually sure because I've never used ancient arrows during the final battle. Also, I gotta say, the rain, a nice touch. Normally, I don't like the rain, but, it is adding to the atmosphere of this area, I would say, and you're not gonna look at me, huh? Alright, fine then. I guess I'll just attack from behind you and take you out this way. It always makes me laugh whenever, like, the Guardians go berserk like that and just start firing lasers uncontrollably because they have no idea where you are. Alright, so this guy is gone. We're pretty much at the end of Hyrule Castle now, I believe. So really, all that's left for us to do is run the gauntlet. Like, there's a ton of drone guardians and turret guardians. So usually if you stick to the left-hand side, they can't really spot you. So that's my advice. But yeah, once we get rid of this like last Malice Wall, we'll basically be at Calamity Ganon. We've seen pretty much everything there is to see of Hyrule Castle, though, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for letting me be your tour guide of Hyrule Castle. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. Please give me a positive review on Yelp. That would be appreciated. That being said, though, directly in front of us is what's called the Sanctum. That's where the final battle with Calamity Ganon will take place. So obviously, we can't head inside there just yet because a cutscene will trigger, then the final battle will happen. But, what we can do is sort of, you know, just look inside from out here and we can see the Triforce on the back. Then, I guess, like, the beating brain / heart of Calamity Ganon. It's right in there. But that's where we're going to end off this video. So if you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.